Okay, I'm aware of everyone's time, so I'll get started. I've just got a couple of introductory videos, just a couple of minutes of videos that I'll play through. Probably a good chance to check your sound as well. Okay, we've probably done enough of the ads, so we'll get started and get into it. So we'll just go through that. So today we're doing how Bluebeam can help residential builders. If you've got any questions as we go or anything, please just use the chat, and I may give you a chance to ask questions at the end as well if you do want to verbalize your questions, but just use the chat as we go if you've got any questions or comments, and I'll try and answer them all. So we're going to use Revu 20 today. So that's one of the latest and greatest versions of Revu. So it's always a good idea to be up to date and use the latest one. Just a bit of our rough agenda. So we're going to go for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We're going to go through sort of placing images, notes. I'll also go on how to do like RFIs, like to bring in an RFI form and then have that linked in as well. We're going to particularly focus on layers today and how to create those layers so that you can hide off the things you don't need to see. Hyperlinks as well, so I'll go through how to do hyperlinks and link them through to your RFIs. I'll also go through markup filters and how you can filter the comments, filter them by layer, filter by comments, by subjects, etc. I've also got a 3D PDF in there, so I will just show some of the metadata that contains. And we'll have time for a bit of Q&A at the end. A little bit about us. So we're a company which does consulting, hardware and software solutions, training and development. We've got a lot of staff that are industry experienced, mainly from the architecture, engineering, construction field, also infrastructure and manufacturing sectors. A little bit about myself. My name's Ben Burns. I've got a structural engineering associate diploma. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. I've worked at a lot of tier 1, mid-tier and smaller consultancies such as Arup, Worley Parsons, Northrop, SMEC, Henry and Hymas, etc. I've been a Bluebeam user since 2014 and I've been using Revit since 2010. I'm also on LinkedIn if you do want to have a look at my profile there. I'm a certified Bluebeam trainer, a certified Autodesk Revit professional, and I do presentations in the industry. So a bit about Bluebeam. So they're AEC industry experts. For over 15 years, they've taken a very customer-focused development philosophy, listening to the customers to create solutions that meet their needs. We're advocates for more than 1 million customers in more than 130 countries. We advocate for the industry, and we have over 21 user groups across the country and in Sweden. We're active in industry groups pursuing standards and AEC technology concepts worldwide. So we've got offices around Australia, Europe, America, etc. Just a little bit about the interface, so I won't go too much on this. We've probably got a variety of people with experience with it, but we do have the panel access on the left, menu bar, properties toolbar, the open panel which you access from the panel access, and your markups list, navigation bar, and toolbars which are fully customizable. The PDF contains all the metadata, so it's not just a drawing in a soft copy of a drawing. It contains metadata. You can have those hyperlinks, file attachments as well, images and 3D data. And now I'm going to get into a bit of the live demonstration. So I'm using Revu 20, and this is basically my drawing set here. So if I just go to thumbnails, we can sort of see what's contained in the drawing. So I've got an architectural cover sheet, going through to my plan, and this is where I've really done all the markups for that. It does look a little busy, so that's where you can turn the markups off as well if you did just want to look at the raw drawing. So by using your markups list, you can basically just turn the markups off, and that will give you the basic drawing. So we've got a basic first floor, ground floor plans, some elevations of the outside of the building, a couple of sections and details, going through to a bit of a powder room plan and wall elevations, a couple of blank drawings here, and our 3D PDF. I've put a couple of RFIs in as well, so I will show how these are contained in the drawing. So if I just go back to the first drawing, for instance, and I'm just going to turn on those markups, and I'll shut that and close my thumbnails. What I've done in here is I've actually added images on. So I've shown where I've sort of gone around the site, taken some photos of some sort of cracks in the new building, a bit of a hole in the wall here. They had a bit of a crack in just before we put the tiles down through here, and a cornice crack, and just some other site defects like a cracked tile and a misaligned door. So with those images, I've pasted them on. I will go through how I did paste them on, and then I've just put basically a leader line out to where those markups are. So I've sort of picked the point where the doors are, etc., and put those in around the site. What I've also done is done some simple markups. So these are Cloud Plus markups, where I've gone around and just made some comments on these. So I wanted to change that door across the balcony there to be a sliding door rather than a bifold door. Just change the name of the bedroom and some things like that on the plans. I've added some notes here as well, which are part of my finished notes. So if I click on these notes, what they will is they'll actually come up with the comments in there. So I've got a comment there about the bifold door. A bit of a comment here about these feature nibs. And we can see how if I did leave these up, it does get a bit busy. So it's a good way to be able to have a small symbol for a note, and then basically double click and see what's contained in that note rather than having the note as per these ones. So I'll put an icon in here and use that as a note. What I've done as well is I've used layers to put these on. So if I go through to my layers here in the panel access, I will see that I've got comments on a layer. So if I turn all these off, you'll see that I've got a blank drawing here. So what I can do is then actually turn on the comments, which are my comments through here. And that way you can sort of just have comments from like your site inspector or your client, etc. So you can have those comments on there. I can turn the comments off and then bring on my site defects, which are where I've taken all those images. So it makes it very clear to see where all those ones are. I obviously haven't put one on for that. So what I was doing is just using a plain leader to point from the image to where it might be located. That will not be on the correct layer. So if I turn that off now, we can see how it hasn't actually picked up the layer. So I can change the layer by right clicking and adding that layer to the right one. And now that will be contained on that defects layer. You can change the layer to be sort of your current layer, like to sort of have a current layer. So if I right click in my layers, I can make this my current markup layer. So this will come up saying that markups added to the document for this session will be assigned to that layer. So then if I did do that leader, that will automatically be on that defects layer. So that's how you can change it from your current layer. You can change that back as well. You'll see that it's put this symbol on here as well to show that that is the current layer for your markups. You can deselect that by again right clicking in there. So I have one for my defects. I've also got one for my RFIs through here. So what I've done with these RFIs is I've placed them as a sequence. So we can see they're all numbered. If I click on a hyperlink here, that will actually take me to my RFI. So I can see here I've used a form to do this. I've got the date in there, what RFI number it is, who it's from and who it's to, and the information requested. And I've got a snapshot there that I've done of the courtyard and pointing that a bit of a comment in here saying that I need the full courtyard design And I can have these as anything I choose through here. I can make it that a signature can be applied as well. So I can sign that document off and put my password in. And that will sign off that document. Then have to save it because it's saved, so I won't do that as yet. So these RFIs are in the thumbnails, so they're in the actual document. So that's a good way to have it very portable. So again, if I go back, I can see how I've got my 3 and my RFIs here. And it's all linked through. So if I go to my RFI 4, click onto my hyperlink, that will take me to my RFI 4, which is asking for the bathroom design. So that's my RFIs. I will go through how to create one of them, and I'll go through also how to put some images on. Finishes as well. I've got all those ones here with the finish. So they were done via notes. So just going through those finishes quickly. I don't actually have a toolbar icon for notes. I could put one on, but I have been using that through just my menu bar. So tools, markup, and a note. And that will allow me to place the note. And then I can put in there that paint to client specifications. And again, I didn't have my markup defaulted to that, so it hasn't actually put that on a layer. If I do select on it and right click, you will see that it's currently on the none layer. So I can then place that on the finishes layer, and that will be on the finishes layer. So it's just a good way to organize your drawing, and that way you stop it from getting too busy. You can see while everything's on it, it can get a bit busy and a little bit intimidating for people who aren't used to Bluebeam. But it's a good way to go through the layers and use these through here. What I'll do is I'll just turn these off for the moment, and I'll make my RFIs the current markup layer. Now I've set these up as a sequence, so I can select any of these current numbered sequence boxes, and I can right click and I can resume the sequence. So even though I've picked obviously RFI 1 or RFI 3 instead of the last RFI 4. So if I pick that and resume the sequence, it will pick up that the next one is RFI 5. So I can see it's picked that up, and then I can place that at a particular area. So I'll just place it near these trees here. You can see that it's not hyperlinked or anything as yet, and I don't have that RFI file in there. So what I'm going to do is just go through that now. I will show as well how I actually created that sequence. So what I have done, I'll just do that quickly. So I've created that by using a text box. And what I've done with the text box is just basically created a blank text box. It's always a good idea to be able to just put some sort of line weight on it. So I'm just going to put a one point line weight, and I might change my surrounding line to like a green or a, I don't know what color that is. It's a teal, I suppose. So now I've got that blank one in there. What I can do is simply escape, and it's given me a blank text box. So what I'm going to do now is just right click and add that text box to my tool chest. So I'm just going to add this into my tools here. So now we'll see in my tools, it's obviously one I use a lot. I'm down to quite a few icons. So I've got that text box there, and I've added that into this tool chest. What I can do is right click here, and I can create a sequence of that. Firstly, I do need to define the sequence. So I'll define that, and I might call this, I might give it a prefix, just say if I want this to be like a door call up. So I can just have DR, I might have a dash in there as well. I could also change the style, so I could like go ABC if I really wanted to. I might do that just for this example. And I can choose where I want to start it at. So obviously, I probably want to start this one as at A. Yeah, so the one, even though they are numbers here, it will, if you know what I mean, it will grab the letters and go up by one letter at a time. I could reset the sequence per document or per page. So I will do this per document. And you can also allow it to renumber so that if I actually went back and deleted like an RFI 1 or RFI 4, it would renumber them. And okay. And now I can use that door, and I can basically put that here for door A1, door B, door C, and door D, etc. So that is how I create those sequences. I will delete that original text box. So I've created RFI 5 here, and I'm just going to use that for like these shrubs. So what I'm going to do is I have set up one earlier. So I do have one as a template. So I'm going to create a new PDF now, and I'm going to create it from my RFI form. Now you can create these from a blank PDF, put the borders in, etc., and then save these as a template. So I've got some in here that I've done before, so I'm just going to use my RFI form. This is a form, so it's actually clickable, these boxes, and you can actually enter in the dates. So today is the 19th of the 11th, 2020, and I can put from, because it is expecting the dots. The dashes actually of month day, so they've put in that. So I'll just put in, which works, from myself. And I'll put it to Alex. I don't even think I know an Alex, but I assume I do. Put in the number of the RFI. You can put in what information you're requesting, so type of plants. I can put a bit of a description in here. So I can say type and number of plants. And what I can also do, what I like to do is also put a bit of a snapshot in here. So I can go back to my architectural set, sort of zoom in so I can see those trees and the location. Use my snapshot, which has a hotkey of G as well, to just basically take a snapshot of that area. And then I can go back to my RFI and simply Control V, paste that in, and I've got that in there. If I really wanted to, I could rotate that around 90 degrees to just give it a bit larger and just to see what it is. And that can be the plants I'm talking about there. I could also put in here first front courtyard. And have my reference of drawing 02. What I'll do is I haven't actually saved this yet. So you can see, like, after I've changed it, it's actually put an asterisk there saying that I haven't saved it since I've made changes to it. So I'm just going to save that as, I'll just save it to my document in here. And I think I'll call that RFI 6. Now, to get it portable, so this is currently stored on my C drive, and it's not stored in the PDF itself. So what I want to do is actually store this in the PDF, so it makes it a very portable document that will have those RFIs contained in it. So we can see here in the architectural set, if I just go to the thumbnails, you'll see that I've got, but I don't have my new tree RFI 5, which I actually called RFI 6, but yep, tomato, tomato. So now I'm going to add that document in. The best way to do your sort of document management is actually through your thumbnails tab. It just gives you that you can sort of see exactly where it's going in your drawing set, etc. So I can right click here and I can insert page. And now that I insert the page, I can actually add the open file. So as I do already have it open, I can just add open files and it will bring that in automatically. If I didn't have it open, I could just add and again search through my computer and go through and find that appropriate file. I can include bookmarks, merge the documents, properties, merge layers if I needed to, etc. I don't really need to do any of that. I could use the file name as the label as well. So we can see that they've just come in as the page number. So I could actually use that file name as the page label. I won't do that. And then I get to decide where I want to position it. So just for the exercise, what I'm going to do is actually put this in as page 8, just so it is incorrect. And then I'll show how I can fix that as well. And okay. And now we can see it's actually added that tree document into this PDF. So now I can see that it's in there. As we can see, I did put it at the wrong spot. I do want it to go at the back and be my last RFI. What I can do is in the thumbnails panel, I can simply grab it and drag it and have that at the end. To hyperlink it as well, you can see on these other ones, I do have the hyperlink where it will jump me straight to the appropriate RFI. I do want to do that for this one as well. So the simple way to do that is to select it. One of the tips and tricks, if I can give you with Bluebeam, is if in doubt, right click it out. So if you right click it, you will generally find everything that you can do in as the options here. So what I want to do is I want to edit the action of this. So I can edit the action and I can actually get this to a hyperlink. So I can get this to actually jump to, I think it was page 12, and okay. And now it's put that little lightning bolt there. So if I select on that lightning bolt, that will take me to that RFI. And it's all contained in the PDF document. So it's quite valuable through there. And I can close that now, and I don't need to access that. That is now actually part of this PDF. So it's all quite portable. What I have done is I've actually created and batch linked everything as well. So if I go to my cover sheet, for instance, if I click on 04 section and detail, that will take me to that sheet. If I go back to my plan view, I can select on our section and that will take me to that page as well. So everything is hyperlinked. This one will just take me to the page because it's on that same page. But I think I have a couple of other ones. So I've got that section there. Yep. I don't have a lot of other links, unfortunately. Yeah, so if I go to my cover, all the pages are linked. So you can jump easily to those pages. You can see on this one, it's actually linked and it's taking me to the page. If I did want to link that and actually take it right to that detail instead, what I can do is actually hyperlink this as well. What I'll do on this is I won't edit the action. I'll actually put a hyperlink on it. So if I go to my tools and hyperlink, I can select that area there. And then I'll edit the action of this. And instead of actually pointing me to page 4, I'll actually get this to go to a snapshot view. And then I'll get a rectangle. And I can put that rectangle over that exact detail. and OK. And now when I select on that item, that will take me, didn't do it actually. So if I did put another sort of hyperlink in there, so I might just put a highlight just on that area, and I can link that detail. So if I go through to edit the action, get my rectangle, and get the rectangle of that. What I would need to do on that other one, I actually got two hyperlinks sort of on top of each other. So that's where it's getting a bit confused. Now I can jump straight to that detail. So that makes it very easy for someone to use who's not familiar with drawings. They can easily jump around all those different markups. As we're aware too, like in the in this drawing, if I go to the markups list down here, every markup that has been done, it's all tracked through my markups list. So this can be filtered. So I can filter that by my subject. So I can say that I want all my notes. So I can put on all my highlights or all my finishes. And you'll see that it's basically just highlighting all those finishes. I do actually have that layer off at the moment, so I'll just turn all my layers back on. You can see how it's grayed out all the other markups because I'm using this filter. So I've filtered it to just be the finishes, and that means that just the finishes are in color here, and you've got them there. You can also filter by author or any other thing, status, etc. You can put comments in here as well, so you can see the comments through here that, you know, with color to of this markup. So you can see how it's asking for the glass splashback with color to client spec. You can all use this. So it's a portable document, so everyone can access it and use this. So someone could come in here and right click and reply to this comment. So they could reply. It would come in if they were the author, but it's obviously all just me. And they could put client as selected hot pink, which would look pretty awful in a kitchen, but good luck to them. And then I can also set the status of that as well. So I can set the status and that's been accepted, or I can say that it's actually been rejected because I don't like the hot pink. So I could reject that. As I rejected, it does all get that in there. So it'll say that it has been rejected by myself with a time and date. So it's real good for that trackability. If everyone has their usernames, etc., you will see each person's comments, and you can filter by the author, etc. And you've got that real trackable. So if someone does put the hot pink in the kitchen, they can go back and say, well, actually, Ben said on the 19th of the 11th that he didn't want the hot pink. So it's all tracked. You can clear and save these filters as well. So as soon as I clear that filter, you'll see that I went in there and it's just brought all the markups back and everything's colored again. So as soon as you filter something, it will be filtered. So I can set here by the custom and whatever that is, or I can set it by whatever the subject is. So I'll just set it by Cloud Plus and I get just those Cloud Plus markups. If I jump to any in here, you'll see how it will actually jump you to the markup and select it as well. You can also save these filters. So if you do have those common ones in your tool set, you can save these filters. So if you go here, I can actually save this filter and then call that my Cloud Plus filter and save. And now if I deselect the filters, I can always come back if it was another project or whatever, and they're all automatically set up. So I can come in here, go to my save filter of Cloud Plus, and I'll get just those clouds. So it's real valuable and it will save you a lot of time, obviously. And you can see how it's that live document. Everything is contained in the document. We're getting away from the paper deliveries. To just bring in the images, I'll just bring these in quickly to show how I did that as well. So I've got image here. That's also under the tools, and an image is an actual markup. So it is here under image, and you can grab them from a file. So I'll just grab an image there. I'll just path through to, I do have those same defect ones here. So I'll just grab those 3, for instance. We'll place them in the order you select them. So you can grab a few images at once and open. Might be a good idea just to go to a different page so I can see them a bit clearer. And I can then basically just place those images. It will let me line them up as well, as you can see. And I can get those in. If I keep going, it will just restart the order again. So I'll get the hole in the wall again. So I can just escape to enter, exit out of that. And that's images. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on now on a 3D PDF. I know that a lot of people may not have the access to that and those. You can create 3D PDFs from Revit, SketchUp, AutoCAD, etc. So I'll just go through to my thumbnails and just go through to this 3D PDF. One of the good things with the 3D PDF is it contains a lot of the metadata. So I'll just change this to properties here. And if I select this wall, for instance, it will come in and it'll give me a lot of information about this wall. Again, it is very much garbage in, garbage out. So if that information hasn't been added in Revit or a different program like that, it won't be able to read it. The information does need to be added in. You can see how I've got the area of the wall. So I don't even need to go and measure the area of the wall. I've automatically got that wall area. I can see that it's a blockwork wall and it's using 190 thick or 190 wide by 390 deep blocks. Core face exterior, etc., where the location line is. It's a non-bearing, which it would actually be a load-bearing wall, and etc. So that is how they've added that detail in. You get that for everything as well. So if I select the front door, for instance, I'm getting the area, I'm getting the exact size of that door, and I'm getting that it's actually hosted in a blockwork wall. I can select just the walls, just the doors as well, if I did want to really inquire about that. So I can come here, I've got my 3D selection tree, and this will allow me to select all the doors. So I can select all those doors and windows, and I can actually isolate those as well. And that will give me just those external doors. So if I sort of minimize some of this stuff, then you can sort of get what those are. You can, again, like even with the vanity in here, if I select that vanity, you can see how I'll get all that metadata out. You can cut things out as well. So I've got like a section here. So you can see this section at the moment. It is picking up anything in that X plane. I could make this a vertical section as well. So you can see here in the properties, once I select that, you will get in here what sort of alignment you want. So I can get a Y flipped as well, which will give me my my Y flip. I can rotate it as well, and I can drag that through the building. Again, just with the metadata, so if I select the actual stair itself, I'm getting the exact number of risers, the exact width, etc. So the height of each riser is 185, the tread depth is 250, and I'm getting that it's 17. I'm getting that it's a concrete stair as well. So I'm getting all that valuable metadata. That's about all we had to show you during this webinar. So hopefully everyone's got a fair bit out of it. Does anyone have any questions? If you do want to just put them in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, I could unmute you to ask a question. I'll just give a couple of minutes for people to ask questions. I'll just go to a couple of final slides just while I do that. So that was our demonstration in Review 20. So we're your Bluebeam provider, Cloud A2K. So we do a lot of things like discovery workshops, rapid starts, integration, Blueburst, and we can do manuals as well. So we can come and do an integration and help you standardize that throughout your office, give you a bunch of standard tool sets, which are good to have. And we do Blueburst as well, where we sort of do just 2 hours training on certain topics. So please reach out to your Cloud A2K business manager if you do want to utilize any of these services. So it's a good idea to have those standardized markups, and then you can make sure everyone's doing everything the same, and it makes it very easy to use those filters. Yep, so if no one's got any real questions, that was it. I'd like to thank you all for attending. So please feel free to reach out through our email address, or just send me a direct email if you want to. And hopefully you've got a fair bit out of the session. I'll leave it open just for a couple of minutes, just if anyone's got any questions. Thanks for your time. I'll just play a little outro video. I'll just leave that up. Thank you.